Good
Hi
morning.
everyone, it's Angela and me again. I'm Delphine here from Singapore. And Angela?
Hi, I'm Angela Ng. I'm also Singaporean, but I'm currently in London at the moment. And thank you for joining us. It's 11 a.m. in London at the moment.
Yes, and it's 6 p.m. actually on a Thursday evening here. So today is our second session of sharing on this global business. So what are we going to talk about today? So the topics we are going to talk about is we are going to share about what are the current trends, and then what about the online business that provides the flexibility, and why do people actually choose to work more remotely nowadays after the post-pandemic. So let's head on. Angela,
Yeah,
yours.
yeah. So for those of you that tuned in last week, we introduced a little bit about our online business. And today, as Delphi mentioned, so we're talking more about the current trend, why many people are jumping on this bandwagon to move their business or to work online. So maybe some of you might have or might not have heard this term called digital nomads. I certainly have. And I guess eventually that might be the type of lifestyle that I'm looking for. So what does it mean? Really, it just means that you can work from anywhere, live anywhere, and continue, to have a true freedom and not be tied down in any location. Obviously, in order to fund this sort of tribal lifestyle, we all need to have a sustainable income as well. And so ever since, the COVID pandemic happened, we all know that many things has changed and it has propelled to make this sort of a digital nomad lifestyle happen even quicker. So what are the current trends at the moment? So since the pandemic, many people got used to working remotely. I mean, it was, frustrating initially for some people, but since the pandemic lasted like almost 2.5 years, so it became a new habit. And now that the borders have reopened, in fact, there was a survey that was done. Although many people are now going back to the office physically, there are still a substantial amount of employees that would still prefer to continue to work remotely. So the survey shows that at least over 65% of the employees show that they actually want to continue this sort of remote work. So how and why are people, going to do this? Um, First of all, I mean, when you are working remotely, you all know that you have the flexibility to adjust your own timing. As long as you achieve all your tasks and targets that your boss or office requires, you have the full autonomy to control how you want to work and the pace that you are working at. And Delphine will talk a little bit more later on about, some people's personal habits. So, because we're all different, we're all our own unique self. And the other thing that is really making this possible is, don't you find that we are doing everything online now? Be it doing your banking online, being looking for solutions on YouTube online, or watching, finding entertainment online. And of course, ever since the pandemic, shopping, e-commerce, have truly accelerated. And more platforms have made the shopping experience so seamless that it is almost, redundant to go to the stores anymore. In fact, everything is made so convenient. Even if I want to buy, say, batteries, I never even have to step out of my house. So all these different factors has made this remote work, online working, so much more appealing. And apart from that, everyone is using social media, scrolling. So instead of just wasting your time, just scrolling at other people's feeds, think about it. Your time is precious. It could be made better use of. And yeah, we would love to share this experience with you on this online world. So yeah, so I'll let Delphine, talk a
Yeah.
little bit more
Okay. I
about
was
her views
Yeah,
as
thanks,
well.
Angela. I was when you're talking about online shopping and almost everything that we actually done online, actually that kind of let me recall of something mainly main to my link to my work that nowadays when I'm in the insurance line, so during the pandemic, a lot of people doesn't want to go to clinics to see doctor. They are afraid.
Mhm.
Even though you just have a minor flu or cough, you're just afraid to go to the doctor. But what are the other options there are? There's no options actually at that time. So after when the pandemic started, the trend started to go higher and higher. All the providers, medical providers, started to come up with something new online. So now we call it telemed. Telemed means you do online consultation with the doctor face to
That's
face.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's via Zoom. I'm not sure in other countries has they already have this trend before the pandemic, but in Singapore, it only started during the pandemic. So everybody come up with this new trend that you can have Zoom with the doctors at stipulated timing or certain only certain clinics that is available. Then the medication will also be delivered to you. So everything seems, so convenient already, at that time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So even seeing a doctor now, you can do it so
Yeah.
conveniently via your mobile phone. That's all. Of course, there's some, security things that you have to go through first before you can actually see the doctor. So everything is well taken care of, on the back end by the medical provider. They have seen through everything. So it just gets so convenient. So this is one thing that something that we have never imagined that you could actually see a doctor online, via
Yeah.
handphone. So yeah, this is
Exactly.
something that
Yeah.
I find
Yeah.
yeah pretty amazing.
And yeah,
Mm.
so I mean, speaking about that, new
Yeah.
trend, of course, during the pandemic, I think many countries had to adopt this, seeing the doctor online.
Mm.
So not only that, for me, it's also because I'm a mom as well of two children,
Mm.
and in the past, I would sometimes needed to miss the parent-teacher meetings
Ah,
because
yes.
I was either away or I
Mm.
wasn't in the same country, or I just couldn't take that, 2-3 hours
Yeah.
traveling time to go
Mm.
meet the teachers. So in schools, for example, ever since the pandemic, in fact, they're still continuing all these
Mm.
parent teacher meetings online, which I find so efficient.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of the day, I would love to be able to meet them whenever I can, face to face. But
Mm.
it does take, the task. I mean, at whatever goals you're trying to achieve, we got to achieve. So instead of missing it completely, at least I got it done. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a really an
that's
alternative
the power of
ways.
technology we have today.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So why do people want to work remotely? Okay, if taking me as an example, if I have a choice to work remotely, or working from home, I will definitely choose the first choice, because I have three kids at home. I have no helper, so getting things done and looking after the children at the same time, is pretty taxing, when I have to be at the office and then nobody looks after the kids. I don't know what's going on after the kids, although you have the so-called CCTV at home to monitor them, but it's very different when you're physically there and when you're not physically there. I'm actually very blessed that my company gives me that options for me actually to work from home on only two morning basis, and during this pandemic, actually a lot of company has downsized in terms of the venue, okay, their office
So
space,
it's been,
because
mhm.
yes, correct. So they so-called same for my company, so we change it to hot desking. So whoever
Yeah.
duties is on schedule is on that day to go office to work, then you will have a so-called a range of tables that you can actually sit anywhere you want. Okay, so this is one of the things that actually evolved after the pandemic started. So a lot of company has downsizes, they encourage hot desking, they encourage the employees to actually work from home. So this could have actually happened even before pandemics has started, because why do we encourage people to work remotely? Okay, there's a few reasons, because for me, more work can be actually done at home. I felt more productive because I'm in my very comfortable, environment, my own home, and I'm in my very comfortable attire. I can wear anything. I don't need to wear heels. I don't need to wear makeup. And I realize I do things more productive and more efficient at home rather than in office. And in office, sometimes you tend to lose a lot of time to, chit chatting with colleagues, doing certain things and things like that. So things are not really accomplished within the timeline that you wanted to. There's definitely a lot of things that comes to you. Colleagues come and ask you something that takes off a lot of time as well. So when you are in office, nowadays we use Zoom or we use Teams call. So it's very convenient. So why does all this thing comes only after the pandemic when things can actually happen even before the pandemics? So actually there are a lot of optional ways that things can be done better
Mm.
you know and if we work remotely, we also spend lesser time traveling to work. For
Of
me,
course.
going to office is about an hour. I think in other location or other region, like in UK, probably you take even longer time to actually
Yeah,
reach from
yeah, yeah,
travel from your home to your workplace. So when employees tend to travel lesser time, they actually start to work early. For me, I start work even earlier than I travel to office. I start work at like 7:30 or 8. But if I do travel to office, I'll reach office at 9. And then I still end off work at 6. But if I
exactly.
work at home, I end work, yeah, sometimes at 6, sometimes at 7, in order to complete what I want. Although the time is longer, but I completed more things. So in certain days, I might not get so busy. So I tends to arrange my work schedule, what I can complete earlier, so certain days I'll be more relaxed and things like that. So it's the comfortability of how we schedule ourselves, you know in our own comfortable environment. So adding that flexibility also actually helps the employee to work more efficiently as well. And we get to actually adapt our own schedule, to fit the family needs. For example, like me, if I'm working at home, I have 3 kids, I get the chance to actually cook for them, to guide them, to look after them, to spend more time with them. So all these are things that we can't do when we are working full time in the office. Yeah, that's why a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of employer, but some of the employer are still encouraging it to work remote, because they can see how productive their employees are compared to when they are working in the office full time. So there is a difference. We can all see that. And then, if we start to work from remotely, we also get the time to indulge in actually self-care. I'm not sure about
Yeah.
Angela when you work from home. What do you do at home? For me, I have more time actually. So during lunchtime, I take a break. Instead of going out to eat, I will cook at home. Then I will do at the same time of having my lunch. I'll do my own skincare. I'll do my hair mask. At the same time. But we can do that. When we are working, and when we knock off late, we don't even have time for that. So
Exactly.
yeah, everybody needs a bit of time for self care. That is to sometimes boost your confidence level, boost your whatever you have. It makes you
Not
happier.
just that. I mean, if we feel good, we work better, we will look
Yeah.
after our families better.
Yes.
So, absolutely, self care is my number one top
Yes,
priority.
it's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
When I'm working full time, I don't even have time, for all this. Not even for weekends. It's only like once in a blue moon.
But speaking about employers' point of view as well. So like for example, you mentioned your office they do like this hot desk system.
Mm,
So also think about how employers or can cut down on their cost
mm,
on property
yes.
rental costs.
Mm,
So as everyone knows, I mean London, Singapore,
yes.
has one of the
Rental.
highest property prices. So when the company is able to cut costs on rent, because usually rent would take up maybe 25% is for any businesses, when they can cut down a substantial amount of this fixed cost, what used to be fixed cost, and it will just go into their profit margins, which is great for everyone. On top of that, when you talk about traveling less, we are all trying to reduce our carbon footprint. So
Mm,
when it's not necessary to travel, I mean, for example, when I'm here, I actually walk a lot. So when I don't have to take, a public transport or use the car, I go by foot. So
Yeah, it's
But
a form of
obviously,
exercise as well.
it's great for the environment, great
Mm,
for our own physical health as well.
yes,
So everybody wins. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were, I mean, talk more about self-care and how important
Mm,
it
yeah.
is. That is one of the key benefits as well of
Yes,
working
correct.
remotely.
Yeah. And on every Monday, everybody will say it's Monday blue. I think that's very common because some people they are morning person, some people they are afternoon person, some people they are evening person. For me, I'm not a morning person. So every morning waking up, if I don't have a choice because I need to wake the children up and prepare them for school. But some people they just couldn't get up in the morning. So when you get to work remotely, you get to run your do whatever your work remotely at any time. You have that flexibility. Actually, if you're an afternoon person, you start work in the afternoon, you have better production. Yeah,
Mm,
so it depends individually. Okay, then
yeah.
working online, as what Angela mentioned as well. Okay, it also reduce the office politics. Okay, especially when you're running your own digital business, you don't even have politics.
Well, I mean, we are still dealing with people.
Yeah,
Um, we, I mean, at the
but
end
we
of the
are all
day,
helping
this
each other.
okay, yeah,
Mm,
this is a people business. Yes, we are all helping each other, but
mm,
I would say sometimes we do need to take time to adjust to another person's
yes,
way of working.
yes,
So but
definitely.
which is great, but like you
Mm,
said, when it comes to our office politics, there's none, because we're all our own business owners. We're all
yes,
accountable to ourselves. um Rubbing noses and playing office politics will not get you anywhere in
yes,
this.
correct.
Yeah.
And in
But
this
when
in digital business, we also avoid the corporate ladders,
yeah.
competition as well. Yes.
Yes. So
Mm,
everyone, gets the return
yeah.
on how much work they put in,
Mm,
rather than, playing any type of office politics at all.
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Which is how, work should be. We should
Mm,
be rewarded for the amount of effort that we put in,
yes. We
right?
work
Yeah.
for what we actually gain eventually. So you work hard right now, you will, collect your fruit in, more fruits, or depends on how hardworking you are. So instead of building the empire for your company, for your employer, why don't start building for yourself? Because eventually, what do we gain after working for 10 years, 20 years? How much savings do you get? And what do you get eventually? 10 years of long service award, the most the company give you is what, $1,000 incentive? Are you so eagerly waiting for that $1,000 of long service award? If you start building your digital business on an earlier stage, in 10 years time, you'll be sitting there and receiving all your fruits, that you have
Exactly.
spent so much time building it. Yeah.
Yeah. And something which I touched about last session is,
Hmm.
because we are already affiliated
Yeah.
to a $1 billion Japanese company. I mean, they have over $1 billion in sales.
Mm.
They pay really generously, and it has been a proven system that we're leveraging on.
Yeah.
So we are all going to look at 5 to 6 figures monthly
Yes.
in the long term. Yeah.
Mm.
So that is why, we encourage anyone who is even slightly remotely curious to
Mm.
just, come and check us out. It's 100% legit. We're all tax registered. We all pay taxes. And there is a free workshop, video workshop, that anyone can join.
Yeah.
So check it out. I mean, it may or may not be for you, but it's certainly worth checking out. Yeah.
Mm. If you were love, working remotely anytime, anywhere with the flexibility at the fingertips, check it out register at our website here. Okay,
Yeah,
the finger that is
exactly.
scrolling here. Yes. So register for a complimentary webinar sharing to find out more on this digital business. It works for anybody, anywhere, anytime. Okay, this is a global business. You can see that Angela is from UK and I'm from Singapore. We come together, to do this great sharing for you. So in order to, we wanted to help people all over the world, to let them have their own flexibility time as well. So check this out. There's no harm
Yeah,
finding out more. No obligation at all. Okay.
yeah. So
So,
whether you are a full-time working professional,
mm,
or you are just a stay-home parent, it's definitely worth checking out because this system is completely flexible. Everyone can do it at their own pace. It's
Mm.
very rewarding, and you never have to do it alone. You will have people like us helping to support you. All right.
Okay. So thank you for tuning in to our sharing today. So we'll be sharing on every Thursday, 6 p.m. Singapore time, and it's 11 a.m.
11.
UK time, right? 11
That's
a.m.
right.
UK
Right.
time. So do stay tuned to our next sharing. We'll share more on what is this digital business all about, and what do you get after you find more info on this. So firstly, register yourself first for the complimentary webinar, then we can chat on. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
have a good evening.
once
Mm,
you register, you will definitely find out more about this
yes.
amazing business. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. All
Thank
right.
you. See you. Bye.
Bye.